Hello, it's Iona, your confidence and empowerment coach. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. It's time for my very quick Thursday live after my Upgrade Your Self Confidence Masterclass, which I just completed. We were doing what we usually always do, which is the exercise that I have my participants do, which is the exercise that I created, which helps us to remember our authentic, true, confident selves, right? The masterclass is Upgrade Your Self-Confidence. So I like to remind people or teach people the differences in the different types of confidence, balanced and unbalanced confidence, lack of confidence, and overconfidence of the unbalanced side of confidence. And then we look at our authentic, true, confident selves, the self that we were before we started playing roles and becoming people or doing things in order to please others. And then we have a look at those roles. We identify what those roles are that we are playing in order to feel loved and accepted by others. We also look at the false self as well, because so many of us, we were born into this world as confident little people, confident and authentic. We're our true authentic selves. And many times, most of the time, that self gets rejected by others. And in order for us to feel loved and accepted by those others, we reject that part of us, that role, that authentic self, that part of us, ourselves. We reject it, and we also create or play roles that other people have projected onto us, or we create roles that we feel are going to keep us safe and protect us from rejection, abandonment, criticism, judgment, keeping us safe, really. So that's what we do for most of the class. And there's usually a theme, and I never know what the theme is going to be until someone gives me an idea. So this week, one of the participants was talking about struggle, about the experience and the feeling of struggle. And that really struck a chord with me, because struggle was something that I subscribed to very often and frequently in life. From between a certain age and up until a certain age, I subscribed to struggle. If struggle was a weekly magazine, I would have had through the door every week, right? I was very much in victim mode. I hated my circumstances. I hated everything about my life. I felt like everything that happened to me wasn't my fault. It was because someone else did it to me, or it was because just, that's the way the universe works, right? It's a bad world that we live in, blah blah blah, all those things. And then I became self-aware. I became aware that actually I have a choice, I have free will, that I can choose, that I don't have to struggle, because struggle is not written on a stone tablet in the sky. It's not a law, right? It's not a law that human beings have to struggle. It's something that we have created, as a paradigm that we have created. And if you don't know, I mean, you can see my name up here. I don't know if that's where my name is when you're watching this, but I am a big fan of creating new paradigms, right? And as a very popular mentor, a very popular coach, and a mentor of mine says, we don't have to destroy, we don't have to get rid of old paradigms in order for new ones to be born and be created. So the old paradigm of struggle, right? We don't have to burn it to the ground and decide that things are going to be easy from now on. The old paradigm of struggle, right, is very well known in many cultures and many societies around the world that struggle. Hi Duran. Oh, thank you so much. That's so good. That's so lovely of you. I'm well, thanks. I hope you're well. Lots of love. Yay! Thanks for joining. So we're talking about the paradigm of struggle, and how an old paradigm doesn't need to go, doesn't need to be, destroyed for a new paradigm to be created. And I put an idea out to my masterclass this evening, my confidence masterclass this evening, because when we're in the paradigm, when we're in the feeling of struggle, it's heavy. It's a really heavy feeling emotionally. And when we're struggling, we tend to think from victim mindset. We tend to think from fear. And if you think about like the physical body, what that does, the physical body is like in fight or flight or fawn. It's like sweating or shaking or it's just sore. That's struggle. And it may be because we're trying to do something, depending on what the circumstance is when we're experiencing this struggle. We may be trying to do something and we've got some resistance against it. And that resistance can come from so many different things. And resistance is something that I talk about every week in my masterclass, my confidence masterclass, because where we have the least resistance in life is where we're going to have the most confidence. And where we have the most resistance in life is where we're going to have the least confidence. So when we are struggling with something, it's usually, or struggling in something, it's usually because we have a lot of resistance around it. And that can come from internal beliefs, perspectives, and things we feel we have to do or we have to be in order to have a certain identity or be accepted and loved by others, just like all those roles that we can play, like people pleasing, so many roles, so many different types of roles that we can play. So there's the roles that we play, and we can also feel like we're not good enough. We can also feel like we're ashamed, that we should be ashamed of ourselves, right? When we're in struggle, we feel like nothing's working out for us. We feel heavy. We feel like we're looking at our past, thinking, well, it didn't happen in the past. I struggled in the past, so how could it? All I know is struggle. So how can I know anything different? You might also observe other people in your life struggle. So I ask this question every week in my masterclass about feeling good enough, right? How can others teach us what feeling good enough feels like when they don't know what that feels like themselves? And many other people don't know what feeling good enough feels like, because we've been told and we've been made to feel not good enough so many times that it just is our baseline. Our baseline is not good enough. We're not feeling good. We're not good enough. We could feel good enough in some things, but we're mostly not feeling good enough. So we could feel like we're not good enough. We could feel unworthy. We could observe other people in struggle. And because they're in struggle, how can they teach me what ease is like when they don't know what ease feels like, right? How can they teach me what ease feels like? How can others teach me? How can others show me what ease is like? What ease feels like if they're so subscribed to struggle, if they have a weekly annual subscription to Struggle magazine. So we get to choose. We get to decide. We are free will human beings. Just because something was difficult and it was a struggle in the past doesn't mean that it has to always be a struggle. There are no laws that say that we must struggle. There are no stone tablets anywhere that say these are the universal laws. Well, number one, human beings must struggle in order to be human, in order to just live as human beings. That is a paradigm that has been created for lots of different reasons, for many different reasons. I won't get into them right now. So how do we tap into what is the opposite of struggle? Well, that would be ease, right? Ease and effortlessness. If things are easy, how do we tap into the feeling of ease? So have you ever said, that was easier than I thought it would be? Have you ever used that phrase? That was a lot easier. That was easy. That was a lot easier than I thought it might be. That's ease. That's you tapping into ease. And you will have tapped into ease so many times in your life, but you're just so subscribed to struggle that we're not aware. The ease isn't like a huge awareness for us. So something that I asked my masterclass to do this week, homework for next week, was to tap into the feeling of ease and to notice things that are easy in their lives. What is easy for them? What's easy for them to do? And I'm really excited about finding out what happens next week. Because we have participants that come every week, and we have participants that just come once and then never come again, and that's totally fine. It's all good. And the participants that came last week, I asked them, their homework was to tap into the feeling of unconditional love. And I'd also asked them to find a photograph of themselves as a child or a younger person, and I have some here of me. This is a photo of me when I was 15 years old, maybe 16 years old. I'm sewing. I'm sewing. And that was a difficult time for me in life. I was struggling a lot at that time in life. So what I asked my participants last week to do was to tap into the feeling of unconditional love and see if they could give that photograph of themselves some unconditional love. This week I've asked them to tap into the feeling of ease and notice what is easy in their lives. And that is an invitation that I extend to you also. I invite you to have a look around your environment in your life. What comes easy? What is easy for you? Where are you stuck in struggle? Where are you struggling? And this could be somewhere where you have no confidence, because there is a big link, right? In our negative emotions, our beliefs, our perspectives, and our roles that we play, in our false self that we have created in order to feel loved and accepted by others, in our lack of confidence, and our powerlessness, right? And in order for us to feel more confident and more empowered, and to allow us to tap into our true authentic selves, becoming aware of what we've got going on in terms of struggle is really, really helpful. So I invite you to do that, to look at where you're struggling and to look at what's easy for you. And the things that you're struggling with, what resistance do you have there? Why is that resistance there? And get your butt along to next week's Upgrade Your Self-Confidence Masterclass. It is every Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time via Zoom. You can click the link in my bio, which will take you to Eventbrite. Eventbrite is the platform that I use to host my masterclasses. And yeah, every single week, 6 p.m. UK time. It's free, it's fun. You will learn a lot about yourself. It's a very fast-paced masterclass. I love it so much. I feel like even just running the masterclass has made me feel more confident in this past 6 months of doing the classes. So thank you very much for joining me. I trust you are having a wonderful day. And if you're struggling, I'm sending you lots of love. I'm sending you lots of compassion and a big hug from me. It's all good. It's all good. We're always allowed to take a step back from things. We're always allowed to tap into ease. Struggle doesn't last forever, especially when we remember that ease is an option and that we have it to tap into. So, lots of love, my friends, and I will see you probably next week on another live. Bye for now.